All right, I graduated in 1995. I was a studio art major and a creative writing major. And after that, I moved to New York and actually worked for a number of years as a computer programmer in the whole internet boom. And after that, I went and got together with a group of other Oberlin people, and we moved to Williamsburg and got a big raw loft space and taught ourselves how to do plumbing and electricity and converted it all into 11 loft units. So I found myself with a large chunk of space with very low rent in Williamsburg. And I'd always loved screen printing in college and hadn't been able to do it for a number of years. So I found somebody who had some equipment that they were getting rid of, and we moved it there and just started printing for friends' bands and for our own art projects. Now we've incorporated and moved our shop 3 times, and we have a new, bigger shop and people working for us and interns helping us. This is our new space, which is actually 1 block away from where our first space was. And this is the inside of our shop. And we mostly do paper printing, but we also do some work on t-shirts for textile printing. But our main love and focus is on designing both graphic design and also designing art, and working with other artists to produce art editions and help them realize their art. So these are some recent posters we've just designed in the last couple of weeks. They're all for the band Not a Surf, who are friends of ours from the neighborhood. And I have a business partner, Wolfie, who's not here today. And he's been doing it with me the whole time. So all of this design work is collaboratively designed between the 2 of us. And that's been one of the really amazing things for me to learning to run a business, is to have that collaborative interaction with another person where you both have somebody bounce something off, but you also have this friction of, you know, wanting to take things in one direction and having to find a common ground. These are some other, the show is actually just the other day. And this one. So that's our start was all just doing rock posters, mostly for friends' bands. And then through word of mouth, our business grew, and more people would start contacting us to either design things or also just to print things that they designed. And it grew to a point where we were actually so busy printing things for other people and then hiring people just to do all the work that we needed to do to pay all the people we were hiring, that it sort of started to get a little away from what we wanted it to be. So we've recently scaled back our operation, and we're really focusing on doing art editions and doing our own artwork. This is the building we're in now, and it's called Monster Island, and it's a really amazing community we've built up. There are 2 art galleries on the ground floor, and then in the basement there are band practice spaces, and we have a floor we built where we have movement classes. I teach a Kung Fu class there. We have a Krav Maga class, and yoga and parkour. And on the top floor is our shop. And then the whole building, we've had lots of muralists come, and some artists we work with will come and all paint on our building. This is one of the art galleries, Secret Project Robot, and they have a little store called Rainbow Cloud City. And everybody in the building helps each other out and interacts with each other, and like we'll print posters for their events. We also have a surf shop that just, one of the photographers who rents space in our building just opened up a surf shop, and there are actually a surprising number of people who surf in New York City. They've averaged about 1 surfboard a day that they sell there, and they have beautiful custom art. These are some slides of a show that Wolfie and I just had at PS1 about a year ago, where we came in and we did a whole installation and wallpapered a whole room with these security images, and then did direct ink drawings on the wall, and then hung some of our art prints around it. And it's sort of, the whole theme was about, a lot of the patterns were all security patterns from envelopes, and it's about security and sort of about a lot of dangerous objects. So we had things like spinach and a pretzel and a mailbox and, you know, knives. And then after it had been up for a while, they asked us to come and sort of touch it up a bit. So we printed these blank line represents you posters, and then at the bottom it said, Kayrock Screenprinting would like you to know that looking at art isn't really going to do anything about the fact that this person represents you. You're going to have to go do something else about that. And then we wrote a lot of them, and then we had some blank ones where people could come and write about it. And we sort of just showed up and bombed our whole art show with them and stapled them over all of the art. Even though they'd ask us to touch it up, we didn't really tell them we were doing it. And they weren't particularly happy about it, but it actually wound up getting a lot more press than our original show had gotten. And the Museum of Modern Art just acquired all of these from us last week, so I think we're pretty happy about how that turned out. This is some of the art editions we're doing. This is a piece Wolfie and I did, which is a theoretical first poster that Kayrock Screenprinting ever made. We sort of made up a mythical history that we had been going on since the Revolutionary War. And this is an art print of mine with my friend Bill Kazin, where it's anagrams of the wet paint sign that you may have seen in the New York City subway. So I sort of, using the creative writing background and the computer programming background, came up with the 16 anagrams that were 2 words that used all of the letters from wet paint. So this is an art print edition that we have for sale. Everybody has different favorite ones. Something else we're doing now is we're starting a book publishing project where every month we do this little 16-page, 2-color hand silk-screened artist book with different artists. And this is one that I did. This is the 3rd one in the series, which is sort of a geometric experiment of just showing how a triangle turns into a 16-sided figure that, as they get closer and closer to being a circle. This one on the right, this is one of my favorite polygons. It's an anagon, which is a 9-sided polygon. And then this is actually, the poster on the left for Oneida is the very first poster that I silk screened in Brooklyn for a rock band. And this Oneida Kinski poster is a recent one we've done. And we've had a nice continuity in the community working with these bands and seeing them grow through their careers and having them come and continue to work with us. And it's been a very rewarding thing for us to work with the same people. And I think I'll let Ben talk.